This just in.
What? We have
white smoke coming out of the Sistine Chapel. This means that we have a new pope. It is the third vote that's been taken. This is quite frequent timing. This is day 2 of the new pope. We've been waiting for this vote, white smoke. Any moment, we'll see if this pope comes from the conservative wing of the party, the progressive wing, or is one of those consensus candidates. We know that the pope has 3 outfits, one of each size, so he will have something that he fits in. And about 40 minutes from now, we will hear those words ring out that a new pope has been chosen, and we will see who that pope is come out live on the balcony. Harris, we've been waiting for this moment. You've been covering it for the last 2 days.
So I want to talk a little bit about what comes next. So it takes them about 40 minutes before they will let us know, sometimes a little bit longer than that. But traditionally, we'll know within the next hour, maybe before we end here on Outnumbered, who the next pope is. This is the 4th vote. The first 3 we already knew the results of. So we were waiting and have been on chimney watch, as it can be called. And we knew that we might not get a black smoke vote because they don't do those for every announcement now after they're past the first couple. So we knew that if we were going to see smoke and be watching it, it would be the announcement of a pope. So we have been watching this for the last 45 minutes. And if you were watching, you probably heard me say, historically, we're in the zone now between the 4th and 5th votes. We're kind of in that process that we've seen where if it didn't happen on the 2nd vote or the 3rd vote, this is where majority of them have happened. I want to bring in now senior correspondent Ben Hall with more on this. Ben, when you and I talked yesterday, we said the sweet spot, the magic number was 89 votes, and the sweet spot would be right about now, the 4th vote.
Yeah, absolutely. 89 votes. That is 2/3 of the 133 cardinals who are in the Sistine Chapel. And look, it's widely been accepted that if we were to see white smoke, if a pope was to be decided this early on after the 4th, then it is perhaps likely that it is someone who we had anticipated, one of the bigger names. Now, we won't find out for certain for another 45 minutes to an hour. And what we will see is we will see the proto-deacon coming onto the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square, and he will say those famous words, Habemus Papam. He will say the name of the cardinal in Latin, his first name and his last name, and then he will say the name that the Pope has picked. And after that, the Pope himself will come out onto the balcony, say a prayer, he will bless the city, he will bless the world, and then say a few words. Pope Francis, you remember, came out, and the first words that he said was Buonasera, which everyone found to be quite amusing. Pope John Paul II came out, and one of the first things he said was he apologized for his bad Italian, but that he knew that people would correct him if he was wrong. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a very serious prayer. But the man who will be standing on that balcony is the direct successor of St. Peter. 2,000 years, and he is, in the eyes of the Catholics, the representative of God on this earth. And he will have immense power to sort of take the church in the direction that he thinks is the right way. We've talked time and time again about how how Pope Francis was more of a progressive pope. Well, will the Pope that we see now be more conservative? Will he be like Francis and progressive? We're not certain. But remember that Pope Francis picked 108 of the cardinals who are in that room, so perhaps many of them did feel like him. But this is an incredible moment. We've been waiting to see that white smoke, and we can hear the bells around Rome at the moment. And we can also hear the screams and the cheers from inside St. Peter's. So this is the moment we've been waiting for, Harris.
All right, Ben Hall, you queued it up. Now let's go watch it live. Listen to this crowd.
everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.